So about 2 months ago, I picked up this Real Sreeel Luna. This is the basic version in D2 steel. And I actually liked it so much that I went and picked up another one. This is the Knivesandtools Exclusive. This one is in natural micarta in M390 steel. And I have this now for about 2 days. And I really liked it. But I want to have the black G10 scales from the basic one on my M390 blade. So in this video we are gonna swap the scales on this knife, on these two knives. Yeah, just gonna start now. Would start taking this one apart. And actually these have two different pocket clips. This one with M390 has a shorter one that I actually like more. I think it just looks better, it's more aesthetically pleasing and it feels a bit better in the hand. The downside is though that this one is like truly deep carry, so when you put this in your pocket you see nothing of the knife. When you put this one in your pocket you see like half a centimeter or something like that. So it's not a lot, but it sticks out a bit, but I'm personally okay with that. So I'm gonna take this clip here. It's already scratched up a bit from today's work. Oh, I can't see that. But yeah, I'm just gonna start taking the D2 one apart and start here with the pivot. This is a T8 screw. So there we go. Now the one from the show side, basically. Go through that. So there's the pivot. Can already take out the blade and the washers. Already took this one apart once just to clean it up, and the washers are extremely thin. And yeah, just can show you guys that. They are really thin, so be careful with that. Probably also gonna just clean these up because this blade is quite dirty actually, as you can see there. So keep on going. Start with the show side here. So now I have all the screws taken out, and now I'm gonna put flathead here, my driver. I'm gonna pop off this G10 scale. So now take out here the second washer. So there you go, you can see the scale. It's actually quite dirty, as well as the blade. So now I'm gonna continue. And I'll be careful with this. The first time I took this apart, this pin here actually flew out. So I'm going to keep this there. And I'll take off this piece of metal. And that is hold in here with these other 3 pins. You can just pop them out. Finger, it's no problem. And the last one right here, you might wonder that like why that one is kind of stuck there in the scale. To get that one out, you actually have to take off the whole clip. Yeah, I'll take this one out here as well. Now, need to screw off that pocket clip. So these are also just T6 screws, but they're really tiny. So yeah, just gonna take these out here. And then we can take off the pocket clip. So there's the clip. Here you can see that this pin has this wider section on the other side. And yeah, now we have these two G10 scales. I'm gonna clean these up real quick, and then we're gonna continue with putting them onto the M390 blade. Alright, I cleaned up the scales real quick. This should be enough. And now we're gonna take this one apart right here. But we're not really gonna film it because it's essentially the same thing as the other one. So gonna show it to you guys when this one is taken apart. Alright, so a little jump in time. So we couldn't get the pivot screw out, so we had to put some glue in there. Well, actually put it on this side. And now we were able to get the pivot out there. But before we put the glue in, the other side was just turning together with the screw. So we weren't able to get the screw out there. Alright, so I want to have that clip on my final version. So also gonna take this clip of the scale. This is the wrong driver. So since I only had this knife now for 2 days, it's nice and clean, not as the other one. So there we go. I'm not 100% sure on it, and I also couldn't find anywhere what this clip is made out of, but it feels like titanium. And this one from the D2 one feels more like aluminum. You can see them both side by side. So this is the one from the M391, this is one from the base model with D2 steel. Alright, so now just gonna take these are my Carter scales, put them aside, and I'm gonna put the whole knife back together again, but of course with the G10 scales. I'll put the pin in the wrong side. So when you put it back together, start with that pin on the side that is under the clip. And attach the clip to that. Screw that on there again with these tiny screws. Don't like these. Alright, so we have now installed this clip onto the G10 scale. And yeah, now we're gonna put the knives together again. So, put here this piece on there. And we tighten up those screws. Right, so now we have that spring there attached to the scale. So we now have the spring attached to the scale, and an easy way to put this pin again into its position. You take the pivot screw from that is normally from the other side of the scale or the knife. Put it in there. Now you take your spring and take it off a bit, like that. Now your blade. Sweep it under there. And now you have your blade with the spring. Now you can easily put in. Oh, first put. So you can easily put the pin in there in a way that there's no tension on it. Now you can take out the blade again. And the pivot screw from the other side. And there you have your pin in there in a much easier way. Alright, so then I continue. But before we move on, if you're going to take these washers, which are actually, these are probably made out of copper, and the one from the D2 one are made out of brass. And we're going to take these and polish these real quick. Then they are just a bit smoother. Alright, here I have the DBK pocket strap with some diamond compound on it. So just polish it there. Hold the washer with your finger. You can already see a difference there. This is the one we polished, and now this is the one we haven't done nothing to. And yeah, it's just smoother. Now I'll just take it over to the clean other side. Right there you have nicely polished washer. It really helps with the action of the blade. So I'm going to also do that real quick to the other side. I'll just take it again. Alright, that should be enough. So yeah, polish these there real quick, and then we're gonna put them into the knife. Take the take the pivot screw from the other side, put it in. Now turn that whole thing. Now you can screw the pivot together. And it's like pop the liner, the scale I mean, into that spring. That. More. Right. There we go. Well, it's really tight. Right, that's good. Now we put the rest of the screws in there. So there you go, a nice blade swap on these two blades. We now have the D2 blade on these natural micarta scales. As you can see there, D2. And the M390 on the G10. Real nice. So maybe some words about the Real Sreeel Luna as a design real quick. As having used this one for over a month now and this one now for 2 days, I have to say, be very careful with the tip of the knife. So this one is pretty much brand new. There you can see the tip. This is really thin. And this is my almost 2-month-old. And I broke the tip off of this one, put a new one on there. Scratched the blade quite a bit, but this is gonna be an abuser blade or hard use blade anyway, for like gardening stuff. And this one is really gonna be my main EDC. Yeah, just really like steel and the G10 scales. Yeah, I'm also gonna mirror polish this one in the next couple of days, and I'm also gonna get the additional thumb stud that you can get for the Real Sreeel Luna. And then this is gonna be my final and favorite slip joint out there. So yeah, if you like this video, which was a bit different than all the other stuff, and you might have seen that we're not the best at disassembling knives, but we hope we entertained you at least, and if you like our channel, subscribe, and we'll see us next time.